was birthed on Judeo-Christian principles. And if you listen, not to me, listen to the presidents of the United States who have said that, listen to the members of Congress, look at the documents themselves. Those principles, those Judeo-Christian principles, begin with the principle that we not only allow, but we welcome people of every other faith, every other idea, every other concept. Even people who don't have any faith at all are welcome based on those very Judeo-Christian principles. But I would suggest to you that you find them so interwoven in this tapestry of freedom and liberty that gives us the authority to stand here today, that to begin to unravel one is to unravel the other. And that's why it's imperative that we step back and look at this rich history of faith we have in the country and ask this question: where would we be today if we hadn't had all of those people with the faith that they had in that rich history that we have in this country?
Congressman.
Yes, ma'am.
Congressman, J. Harley, GNM News, DCTV. Has anyone spoken to our president in reference to his statement? Has anyone challenged him to that, or to your knowledge?
Let me say this: everything we're doing is as humbly and respectfully as we can. It's not our role to challenge the President of the United States. He has a right to say what he wants to say. That's what makes this country strong. I don't question that he believes that. I just disagree with his conclusions. And I think if you ask and answer the two questions that we just raised, I think you'll come to the same conclusion. Okay, anybody else? Any other questions?
I had a question to Dr. Dobson. Hello, Dr. Dobson. Adele Banks, Religion and Service. I was wondering if you would expand on your wife's comments about concern about the president not having a person in the White House today, and there not being an executive branch representative here today, and what you think that says about the current role of evangelicals in Washington and the country.
Well, first of all, let me say that I'm not a congressman, so I'm not really qualified to be speaking in that context. But I have many friends who are congressmen and congresswomen, and they're around me here, and I'm very, very grateful for what they are saying and what they have done. With regard to the White House, I also say respectfully that we are disappointed at the lack of emphasis on prayer on this National Day of Prayer. There are tens of millions of people praying across this country. My wife's organization, the National Day of Prayer, is aware of 40,000 prayer events taking place today, and there are far more that she doesn't know about or have anything to do with. And yet, for the first time since 1993, the White House did not even send a representative of the cabinet to the National Day of Prayer. Bill Clinton did during his 8 years. It goes clear on back to Ronald Reagan, who signed the order making the first Thursday of May the National Day of Prayer. And Harry Truman is the one that first called for a National Day of Prayer but did not indicate what day it was. So this is our history. And in recent years, certainly, there has been a White House presence, but there's not today. So far, this may change, but so far, the President has not even issued a proclamation, or we have not received it. And I don't know, is it going to come at the end of the day when you can't celebrate it or distribute it? I really don't know. All I can tell you is this, that when the professional baseball team wins the World Series, or when the Super Bowl is played, or when college teams win the national championship, they're invited to the White House to celebrate. That's important, apparently, but celebrating prayer, which is our heritage, which is what these people are talking about, is ignored. And we are very disappointed in that. We're not angry. If you could have been in the service that just took place, and it was a wonderful time of prayer, there was nothing disrespectful said of our president. We will not be disrespectful of him because of the office, and we do pray for him. But I do regret his lack of emphasis on the foundation of prayer on which this country was based. Thank you.